How many DualSense controllers do you own? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, PlayStation Mobile news. Sony has clearly been pushing into the mobile space as we see more and more news pop up in recent memory, from Sony hiring Apple arcade exec to Jim Ryan talking about bringing iconic PlayStation IPs to mobile, to a patent about Sony developing their own mobile controller similar to something like the best mobile controller out right now, in my opinion, the Backbone controller, or other alternatives like the Razer Kishi. The latest in this area is that it looks like Sony is getting the financials together and possibly could be even purchasing a new studio. I said a while back that it looks like Sony wants to set up a mobile version of PlayStation Studios. One of the issues something like the legendary PlayStation Vita had was that it lacked content support. Sony couldn't support the platform and also support the PlayStation 4, so they put all their focus on the PlayStation 4. And while it hurts that they dropped the Vita like they did, they made the right choice to focus their resources on the PlayStation 4. Sony doesn't want to divert their console developers to mobile, which I agree with, so instead they'll work with mobile developers, which is what this new position is about. The position is for a strategic finance manager for mobile games. The description of the position states, PlayStation Studios is hiring and we're looking to add a finance manager to our team. This is an exciting opportunity to support the expansion into our mobile platform. We are looking for a candidate who can bring knowledge of and experience into our business and its value drivers into the role gained either in mobile development or publishing companies. You'll provide strategic finance support to any projects resulting from execution of PlayStation Studios strategy, example, mergers and acquisitions, strategic partnerships, etc. Given the dynamic nature of the roles, responsibilities described below, additional duties may be assigned. The finance manager will report directly to the strategic finance director of PlayStation Studios and be preferably based in California. So this person will report to the finance director of PlayStation Studios, and the focus of this position is evaluating finances, and they bring up things like strategic partnerships and mergers and acquisitions. So they're essentially going for, from what it seems right here, what they're doing on console, which is working with external studios to make games and potentially buying studios. But this is in the mobile space, and I'm definitely interested to see how this turns out, considering how well PlayStation Studios is doing in the console space. Now, diving into the second story of the video, the DualSense Pro controller. Reading from The Verge, SCUF has introduced the Reflex lineup of customizable wireless controllers made for the PlayStation 5 and PC, consisting of three pricey controllers. Pricing starts at $199 for the Reflex, $229 for the Reflex Pro, going all the way to $259 for the Reflex FPS. And each model has its own unique features. The Reflex is built upon Sony's first-party DualSense controller board. That means it'll receive updates through your console, and its feature set is almost identical to what you'd get from Sony's controller. The SCUF Reflex and Reflex Pro, but not the Reflex FPS, which is the most expensive one, by the way, feature haptics and Sony's signature adaptive rear triggers, which can adjust the amount of tension you feel contextually. The faceplates can be removed and swapped with different ones. You'll also be able to purchase different colors of anti-friction rings that can be installed around the analog sticks that cushion their movement. All three models of the SCUF Reflex feature 4 rear paddles that can be customized. There are more details which you guys can go check out in the link. I'll have it in the description, but I think the most important part for this, for a lot of people, is the back paddles. These controllers definitely look great and have solid features and customization options, but are they really worth $200+? For me personally, I think that's steep, but what about you guys? Are you interested in buying this new controller or not? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the final story of the video, huge PlayStation 5 announcements in 24 hours. The Game Awards go live tomorrow, and huge announcements are set to drop, according to Jeff Keighley. Reading from Gaming Bolt, speaking about the Elden Ring reveal at Summer Games Fest 2021 earlier this year, which was also produced and hosted by Keighley, he said that at the Game Awards 2021, there will be 4 or 5 announcements that will be on the same same level. I was very happy because the trailer was great. Keely said about the Elden Ring reveal, it was a great asset, a highly anticipated game that really delivered. There were a lot of things that were good about that. So yes, I was uniquely excited to be able to bring that to the people this year. Oh God, there are probably 4 or 5 things of that level. I can't wait to show people this stuff. Summer Games Fest was a new thing that I had created. The fact that From Software bet on me and Summer Games Fest, where they could have done more traditional E3 stuff, that meant a lot to me. It was a huge honor to work with the From guys, so stay tuned. There may be more coming. So Elden Ring is one of the most anticipated games, for a lot of people in recent memory. For a while now, that reveal Jeff is talking about was huge and has nearly 8 million views on the Bandai Namco's channel alone. Just that channel by itself. Of course, it was shown elsewhere on multiple different publications. And here he's talking about 4 to 5 reveals of that same caliber. That sounds like an amazing show to me. Just those 4 or 5 reveals sound like something big, huge. I'm sure some of these will be on PlayStation 5, so I'm excited, really excited to see what we get. I think this is the biggest hype Jeff has put on a Game Awards. I'm not saying, depending on who you are, Jeff sometimes delivers, sometimes doesn't each year, even though he hypes them each year, he hypes the show each year. But this year, he's hyping it more than I've seen him in the past. So I'm definitely curious to see what he's got to show. He's definitely put the bar high for the show. But you guys let me know what reveals you hope are at the Game Awards tomorrow. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps. And subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is the body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with ready for the show. Obviously, this is in relation to the Game Awards, which go live tomorrow. I'm definitely excited to see what comes of the show. Jeff Keely's hyping it through the roof. I hope some of the stuff that we've been talking about for the past year. I'm not going to say names because I don't want anybody to hope these reveals are there, but I hope there's some nice surprises at this show. If you're excited for the Game Awards, destroy the comment section with ready for the show, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.
It's time to give you free stuff thanks to our friends at Honey. That's right, you could win a $5,000
possibly a hidden change, the latest on Sony's backwards compatibility situation, and this question from time to time. It's always a fun question to see what everyone is playing currently. I'm currently almost done Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, a new media player comes to the PlayStation 5. Reading from Push Square, BBC iPlayer, the movie and TV application available on basically everything, has been absent on PlayStation 5 this past year. Today, though, the corporation has finally brought the app to the PlayStation 5. You'll be able to watch all kinds of BBC programming via your PlayStation 5. That includes live TV as well as many box sets of classic drama series, comedies, documentaries, children's shows, and more. So I know this is one of the apps people in the UK have said was missing from the console for a while now, and now it's finally here. Now, diving into the second story of the video, a new HDR update. Another simple update here to talk about the YouTube app on the PlayStation 5 now supports HDR content. HDR stands for high dynamic range. It's the range of light and dark tones in your content. The human eye has a very high dynamic range, which is why we can see details in both shadows and highlights. This is the Adobe definition. Overall, it's meant to give your content more vibrancy, more color. So if you have a TV that supports HDR and there is content that you want to watch on YouTube that also supports HDR, you can now enjoy that on your PlayStation 5. A nice little enhancement for the content you watch on the console. Now diving into the third story of the video, Uncharted PlayStation 5 release date. Reading from T3, as we enter the final month of 2021, naturally, we're already looking at what 2022 is set to bring about. One of the big releases many people, including myself, are looking forward to is the PlayStation 5 and PC remasters of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, better known as the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. After being announced during the PlayStation Showcase in September earlier this year, the Uncharted remaster was given a release date of early 2022. Well, two bits of information recently discovered point to both potentially good and bad news about the Naughty Dog games. Let's start with the bad news. An HTML file found within the official PlayStation page via Reset Era for Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection has a release date timestamp of May 4th, 2022. This is slightly later than expected, but quite possible too, considering the number of video games being delayed on a weekly basis at the minute. So the May 4th, 2022 is way past early 2022, which usually refers to the first quarter of the year, unless Sony meant early 2022 for their own fiscal quarters, which starts April 1st, 2022, then that would make sense, but I doubt that's the case. May 4th is also a Wednesday, them on Fridays in recent history. This could just be a placeholder. We'll find out in time what happens with this date. But you guys, fourth story of the video, a new PlayStation 5 update is now live with a possible hidden change. So the latest update for the PlayStation 5 just dropped today, firmware update 21.02-04.50.00.05. And with it, on the PS5 UI side, it tells you that it brings, as you probably guessed so far, this system software update improves system performance. We've gotten these a bunch of times at this point. But interestingly, beyond this, Twitter account PlayStation Game Size reveals that PlayStation Video Pass, Sony's own Netflix-like service with PS Plus that's only being currently tested in Poland, got a change in logo design. The service went live in Poland earlier this year and is being trialed there for a year, so until April 2022, and from there it could just end or become something more and more countries could possibly get it. I don't know if this icon change means there's some good progression in Video Pass or this is nothing more than just an icon change. And now diving into the final story of the video, PS3, PS2, PS1 backwards compatibility on PlayStation 5. So this is actually a story we've covered before. Sony's patent for spoofing CPU ID for backwards compatibility is back again here. The idea behind this patent is to convince software, the game, it's being ran on the original hardware. So convincing a PlayStation 4 title, for example, on PlayStation 5 that it's being ran on a PlayStation 4 when it's actually being played on the PlayStation 5. Here's a little snippet from the patent, reading from the patent itself. A key feature of the ability to mimic a legacy device is to fool the legacy application into acting as though it's running on a legacy device. Since many applications are designed to be run on different processors, modern processors often implement a opcode, operation code, or a register that allows the software application to discover details of the processor. To facilitate backwards compatibility, a processor on a new device can execute the opcode or supply the register value in such a way that different processor information is returned in response to a call from a legacy application. The different information is referred to herein as spoofed processor ID. The spoofed processor ID would selectively identify certain features of the new device as being either different from ones that are actually supported or not being supported at all, when in fact they are. So again, this patent isn't new, but why I'm talking about it now is that it was recently updated, it seems on November 25th, just 6 days ago, since now it has a publication date of that date. This is a patent, so it could end up being nothing. However, it looks like Sony is still researching the topic. But you guys let me know if you care about these backwards compatibility stories or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, the system performance overload. Obviously, this relates to the latest update, which improves system performance, stability. How many times have we gotten these updates? It's just it's a meme at this point. It's just funny at this point. So if you're excited for future PlayStation 5 updates that bring actual big features like 1440p or VRR, destroy the comment section with the system performance overload, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.
My name is Frey Holland. I do not know how I got here, and all I want is to
Many stated do it for those. I assume that you mean 4K at 60 frames per second or 1080p at 60 frames per second, but I really feel that Insomniac Games needs to come out and really clear the air. So I scrapped my original part of this video discussing this topic, but in my original opinion is that it's not 4K or 60 frames per second. It's actually just 4K 60 frames per second is what they mean. And I really feel that Insomniac Games needs to come out and kind of clear the air on this. Just say it. Just say it straight up that we're talking about 4K at 60 frames per second, or say, no, it's 4K 30 frames per second. And we also have a 60 frames per second mode that has, you know, it's lower resolution, but it's running at 60 frames per second. I think this just needs to be cleared out. And this part of the video was scrapped, but I just wanted to make a quick note here because the beginning of this video says that I'm talking about this, and it's clear that I have a full idea of what I want to say. So this part of the video, I just wanted to make a quick update on this, and then we're just going to move over to the PlayStation Plus discussion, which is, of course, the main topic of the story, so enjoy that part. Now, diving into the second story of the video, PlayStation Plus and Sony considering making it go free on the PlayStation 5. For people who remember the days before PlayStation Plus, in the PS3 era, online play was free. This feature alone was a big draw for a lot of players when Sony was combating the 360 in those days, with the console being double the price, alongside a bunch of other issues from third-party games, etc. PlayStation Network also back then wasn't up to par with the Xbox Live service, so it made sense for it to be free, which is why I don't understand what Nintendo is doing right now. As time progressed, Sony got PlayStation Network up to snuff and started to offer PlayStation Plus as a premium service that would give you deals, free games, etc. Many people, including myself, subscribed to the premium service, but didn't acknowledge this being Sony's way of transitioning people to paying for online on the PlayStation 4. That time came, and we paid up for the service, which upset fans, but a lot of people accepted it because Xbox was already doing this for years, and what else could really people do? Fast forward to recently, the tables could be turned on Sony here. Microsoft apparently is rumored to possibly remove the need to pay for online play when the Series X comes along. I personally find it hard to believe considering how much money they make off Xbox Live, but let's look at what's happening and we'll discuss it. So one of the first signs people noticed was that Xbox Live Gold 12-month subscription was confirmed to be removed by Microsoft from the Microsoft Store, so you couldn't buy it anymore. Then people thought maybe Microsoft intends to go all in with Game Pass because in the Ultimate version, they already have Xbox Live Gold and they're bringing xCloud to the service as well for one price. But to note, the regular Game Pass service still requires Xbox Live Gold for online play according to their fine print on the site. I also want to note that everyone that got excited when they heard Game Pass Ultimate and xCloud are coming together for $99.99 a year according to website GearNuke, when they forget that PlayStation Now has more games and has been offering the ability to download and stream your games at $60 a year, which is much cheaper than Game Pass Ultimate. But I'll add that Ultimate includes Xbox Live Gold, while with PlayStation Now you don't need to pay for online. It doesn't come with the full PlayStation Plus experience. To make it simple, Game Pass Ultimate has streaming, download, and gold. PlayStation Now has streaming, download, and free online for PlayStation Now specific games, but no PlayStation Plus. But to continue, people are thinking that since Game Pass seems to be Microsoft's forefront subscription service, maybe they'll remove Xbox Live Gold altogether. Then you had Xbox Insider Klobrille, hopefully I said that name correctly, state on Reset Era the following in regards to Xbox Live Gold. The question is not if the online multiplayer paywall falls, the question is when. So this fueled the flames even further that Microsoft could make online play free. Now, I actually had a whole script for why this didn't make sense to me. If anything, they'll just combine Gold with Game Pass instead of going free altogether, but I scrapped it because the focus diverted from the PlayStation conversation. But if people want that discussion for another video, of course, let me know down in the comments. Now, to continue, the consideration that Microsoft might remove Gold altogether for online play has people wondering if Sony would follow suit, and it seems like Sony at least has taken notice, as website PlayStation Universe reported on a recent Sony survey regarding PlayStation Plus that has been making the rounds after Microsoft's announcement regarding the 12-month Gold removal. The survey states, "Got a minute to spare? It'll help us improve PlayStation Plus, and you may even get a warm, fuzzy feeling." Now, I don't know what to say about that last part, but it's interesting that this survey has gone out following the news from Microsoft. I personally have felt that Sony should combine PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus into one package for a while, and if Xbox Live does go free, that will be a huge hit on Sony, whether people want to admit it or not. But really, that's good for us because it means Sony would be forced to offer a better deal. And even in the other scenario, if Microsoft combines Gold with Game Pass, that'll still be a hit because it makes that service much more enticing than PlayStation Plus alone or PlayStation Now alone. So really, this is good news for PlayStation fans, because if Microsoft really does push for free online or Gold going to Game Pass, Sony would have to counter in some way, which would benefit us in the end. And it seems, based on their survey, they're taking notice at least. But you guys let me know if you see Xbox Live Gold going free altogether or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "make it free for all." Because if you're one of the people who feel that online play on consoles shouldn't be constrained behind a paywall like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, destroy the comment section with "make it free for all," and I'll definitely now, I'll check you guys out on the next one.
We all shop online, right? And when we do, we always see that little promo code field taunting us at checkout.
logic into it, and we're going to read the story as well. And beyond that, I also want to talk about Sony's response to Roundhouse Studios. They are the development teams behind franchises including The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, Prey, and Quake, among others. The move will see Xbox new space epic currently in development by Bethesda Game Studios. Like us, Bethesda are passionate believers in building a diverse array of creative experiences, in exploring new game franchises, and in telling stories in bold ways. All of their great work will, of course, continue and grow, and we look. People might think twice here if they're thinking, hey, Xbox might have all of these games as exclusive games going forward. And, you know, depends on which games are you a bigger fan of. Which one are you going to get first? That's the discussion. That's the confusion that Sony wanted to avoid, and that's why they announced pre-orders last week. Now, the discussion of multi-platform, will these games still be multi-platform? I think the games that are still in development for both the PlayStation and Xbox will be multi-platform, but I really believe, and this is a high possibility, that some of the games going forward will be Xbox exclusive. And I only say that because of my personal thought. I don't see Microsoft just buying out this gigantic game studio just to simply, you know, just for Game Pass, because that's still a great move to get everybody on Game Pass. But at the same time, if I can get everybody on PlayStation to jump on Xbox as well and get more people on Game Pass, that's even a better plan, because that means there's going to be people who are just going to, oh, I like the Bethesda games more than I do what Sony's offering, so I'll just go on Xbox and not put money towards PlayStation. We also had Jason Schreier on Twitter state something that kind of backs this up as well. He states, to answer the question everyone is asking, Phil Spencer tells Dina Bass that Xbox plans to honor the PS5 exclusivity commitment for Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Future Bethesda games will be on Xbox, PC, and other consoles on a case-by-case basis. So Microsoft is basically saying, we get to decide if these games will be on other platforms, and this tells you that this might not be only Microsoft purposely are making it hazy, because pre-orders go live tomorrow for the Xbox console, and this is one of the reasons why a chunk of these games will probably be exclusive to Microsoft. Now, in terms of what could be Sony's response, now the biggest one that comes to mind is Rockstar Games, which is under Take-Two Games, which is also has 2K Games, the people behind, you know, BioShock. So this, I know people think that's an impossibility, but honestly, if you asked anybody today, they wouldn't have believed Bethesda was going to go to Microsoft, and you know what happened. Anything could be really shocking. I would be super shocked if it happened, but at the same time, after today, it might seem a bit less shocking that Sony has purchased Take-Two or plans to purchase Take-Two. And this is coming from earlier rumors. I forget when those happened, maybe earlier this year or last year, that there was rumors that Sony had plans to purchase Take-Two, which includes Rockstar, to get that on PlayStation to counter what happened here on Xbox. I know there's some people saying Konami and Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill honestly make 100% sense, but is that up to the welcome for this video's thing? What I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall